Hey everybody, Tom Leyden and Dave Fleischman from Accelerated Performance Rehabilitation. We're coming to you from the Foxboro location. As always, I remind you there's two locations, one here in Foxboro, one also in Westwood. And Dave, sometimes we see injuries that apply to real people. And this is one of those injuries. We saw it Sunday night in the Bengals Chargers game.
What a play, huh? I mean, DJ Turner, incredible play. I mean, I was surprised that he actually made that play, but the fall on that outstretched arm, and I guess he ended up having a clavicle fracture.
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty common. I see quite a bit of clavicle fractures. I think the big takeaway from clavicle, there's a lot of mixed, what's the word I'm looking for, consensus amongst the orthopedic groups. Some say don't do surgery, some say do it. Some say measure if it's measured. So let's talk about the clavicle. The clavicle looks like this. When it separates, it comes up.
The x-rays are horrendous looking.
Oh, I didn't see the x-rays.
No, I'm just saying when anybody has a broken collarbone.
Well, so usually if they're up a little bit, the doctor will say, oh, you don't have to do surgery. You can let it heal like that. You might have a lump on your chest. And usually I think the goal, 20 millimeters is what they say you got to fix. But I have a different opinion there. I think what would you rather have on your chest? Would you have a lump on your chest that's going to get stiff eventually, or would you just rather have a little scar? Me personally, I'd have a scar.
No, I'd opt for the scar too, just to get it fixed. I wouldn't like that concept of it not being fixed. And just so you know how he injured this thing, he went up full extension with his arm, if you didn't see it on Sunday night, and then full body weight on the shoulder. You even referenced that you're surprised the shoulder didn't dislocate.
So the way he fell on that joint, I mean, he could have dislocated his shoulder. He could have torn the rotator cuff. I think the clavicle fracture, if that's all that happened to him, and we don't really know of, I mean, that's not the worst case scenario. It's actually probably the best case scenario for him. We can fix that clavicle fracture and he gets his full mobility back. He'll be back next season, no problem.
So you're talking bone break.
Yes.
But he is done for the season.
Sure.
But in terms of rehabbing, this is something that happens very frequently. Think about a bike accident, right?
Yes.
Something like that. So something that we might actually encounter in the course of our lives. How do you work around that bone? You fix the bone, you fix the broken bone. Then what's next in terms of strengthening the area around it?
Well, you mentioned something about bike accident. It's actually the number one injury of bike accidents is a clavicle fracture because it's when you go over the handlebars. So yes, very common. I see it a lot. Now, what do we do? Once that fracture is stabilized and fixed or fixated, my role is just like anything else. Let's restore the mobility of the shoulder. We got to do it over a period of time. And then we restore the strength of the cuff. And I'll tell you, they do fantastic. Like I said, the only downside is you have a little scar.
Little scar.
Versus a big lump.
Right. I'll take the little scar if I have full mobility.
Yes.
That's for sure.
I would take the scar.
All right. Well, if you have questions, of course, always you can leave comments here. You can send Dave and his team an email. Just go to their website, aprpt.com. Dave is the expert contributor in physical therapy for Westwood Living. We appreciate his insights every quarter when he writes an article. And of course, every week here as we talk about specific injuries. We kind of are warped because sometimes we're watching the games and thinking like, oh, that's the injury we're going to talk about. We're not rooting for injuries, but we just have to stay aware of what we're going to talk about on Tuesdays. So thanks very much, as always.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be back next week.
Thanks.